Hey everyone, I am Cory. I am the writer, director, producer of a new film called Superhuman, The Invisible Made Visible. The movie is about the power of the human mind, what we are able to accomplish if we raise our consciousness, our awareness, and all the mysteries of the human mind, and how we are not really tapping into this incredible potential. So before I begin with this, I'm so excited today because I'm bringing incredible guests to this broadcast, which, by the way, is being broadcast on YouTube, but also on several Facebook channels and pages. So wherever you are, we still get your comments and your questions. So as we are proceeding with this broadcast, we can see all your comments and questions here so we can respond to you. So wherever you are, welcome. And let's have a great time. So yeah, so as I was making this film, the idea was to gather all types of disciplines or all types of techniques that demonstrate how the mind is incredibly powerful. To me, it's consciousness rather than just the focusing on the mind itself. But anyway, and so I in the film, there's different experiments, very high caliber scientists talking about all kinds of ways that we can demonstrate the power of the human mind. And then I discovered this blindfold technique where people were running around completely blindfolded and seeing things, reading things, doing all kinds of incredible things. And so the film is scientifically based, so I wanted to bring strong evidence. This is not this is not a magic show. This is very serious. This has been my career for 20 years. And so the idea was to bring very credible folks and to include that sort of information as we are showing it on the screen. And so I myself investigated how it's possible to be able to be completely blindfolded with these things, you guys. If you just grab one of these masks, you will see for yourself that this is complete darkness. There's not, even if there is a little bit of light that leaks on the side, it is absolutely impossible for you to see anything. And yet these guys are doing all kinds of things with completely blindfolded. And so there are different techniques out there. I have to say, I've investigated different ones, but the one that really stands out is based on something completely different. So this one is called Vibra Vision, and it is based on the idea that everything is vibration, and that's why I'm very attracted to this particular concept, because these are universal laws. We know that we are vibrational beings. We are emanating information. So that's the reason why this technique is very different than all of the others out there. And so I had to connect with those guys and also bring them on today I'm going to let them tell you about this technique and how it all works. And so let me just introduce, first of all, here we go. Mike, how are you?
I am awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Caroline. I'm stoked. This is going to be awesome.
It is. And so every time we speak on the phone, I feel like your energy and your vibration is always so positive. And I'm going to let you talk about that because I know you're, like I was saying, everything is based on vibration. So I wonder if that's not part of why your technique is so successful, right? Do you do something to keep your energy so positive and so uplifted?
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And, it is really all about resonance. We're all experiencing this every day. Some people pull us up and some people, almost like a vampire, just suck it right out of us, and we feel depleted and drained after we're around them. And The techniques that we're using here out of the royal family's martial art, royal family of Indonesia's martial art called Merpati Putih, or MP for short, they specialize in very, very specific breathing exercises that raise our vibration. There's a lot of science behind this, actually polarizing the iron in the blood, the mitochondria of the blood, to actually generate more electricity, like a magnet in a copper coil. But as we generate more electricity, we would generate more energy, our field gets bigger, and it kind of balances us from the inside out. I don't know if anyone else has ever experienced this, but I've experienced several times in my life having amazing days, and then all of a sudden I get hurt, I get injured or stressed or something like that, and instantly my fuse gets a lot shorter, and I'm not my normal me. I'm in a state of trying to recover, and it's hard to be happy when you're hurt or you're stressed. So by practicing this, there's so many side benefits that we get where we increase our electricity. It balances out our mind and our body, which really opens the door to our spirit, which, wherever our beliefs are at, really could be pulled down into one thing: joy and passion for life. And so as we increase our vibration, it basically makes us happier. And I'm glad that you noticed, because I always try to put my best foot forward, and I was going that you walk away from me, you never forget how I made you feel, and I made you feel great.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to bring also your brother Nate, because I know that you guys work together to create this, this training, this whole method, because maybe also you can tell us about how it all came about. But yes, you're speaking my language. I mean, I've been talking and teaching about vibration. Whatever you emit is what you receive as well. So that's the reason why it's so important. And if you want to succeed at something, at least you have to put that positive thought out there. But Nate, thank you so much for being here as well. So do you handle more the business end, or tell us a little bit about your role in this foundation?
Thank you so much, Caroline. Well, first of all, I just want to say a big thank you to you for all your hard work over all these years to bring this to light, to help people understand that we're more than just what we see. So my name is Nate Zalesnik, and I'm the CEO and the founding director of the Vibravision Foundation, and I'm the co-founder of our Vibravision Immersion Company, where we teach people with or without sight how to come here for a week and develop this skill. Now, as far as my history is concerned, this is actually a story of Nate and Mike, not a story of just Nate. So in 1998, I received a course from Black Belt Magazine guaranteeing inner power in 2 weeks, or I got my money back. Well, it wasn't a real course. It was bogus, but it did come with a VHS tape that had some amazing demonstrations of Indonesian people doing martial arts, but also more than martial arts. It showed people running blindfolded through obstacle courses and driving motorcycles through traffic. And it even had some military members wearing hoods who were shooting targets out of people's mouths and out of, like, in between their legs. It was crazy, but I thought for sure it had to be a trick. But so you see something that cool, you have to watch it a few times. So we did, and went to bed. The next day, I was right in front of the Utah Schools for the Deaf and Blind, stopped at the traffic signal, and I watched a blind person almost get killed. They had their guide dog, and they got the signal to cross the street in front of me, and the dog went around the pole, and they went right into it. And the thing that just flashed into my head was, I wonder if those Indonesian people help blind people. Because on that VHS, they did have a couple of people who were claiming to be blind doing some demonstrations. So it resonated so strongly with me that I just couldn't let it go. And I had to find out who those people were. And so I took the next 2 weeks to find out at the local county library, and I contacted them. And I asked them, have you ever trained blind people? And they said, yes, we have a foundation that trains thousands of blind people. And we even train our special forces members.
Wow.
So they use it in live combat as well as search and rescue. So when they have mudslides, volcanic eruptions, typhoons come through, floods, they call in these special operations groups to use Vibra Vision to locate survivors. And they've been doing that for decades now. And Mike and I sponsored the very first demonstration of Merpati Putih and Vibra Vision here in the United States. And it really took off from there. We've had plenty of challenges, but it's going to make a great movie someday. That's for sure.
I want to make that movie. I mean, so then did you start from the beginning helping blind people, or did that evolve eventually?
That's a great question. No, we did not start helping blind people right off the get-go. Mike and I were given the honor of being the very first two non-Indonesian people to ever be allowed to learn this art. Even though in Indonesia there had been over 1 million people trained, they had never allowed a foreigner to train until us. And the mission has always been to bring Vibra Vision here, but we started off learning the martial arts, the meditation, the breath,
Right.
the healing. And we opened a martial arts school and a fitness school and meditation school in 2001. And we didn't start training blind people in earnest until about 3.5 years ago.
Well, that's incredible. So I'm going to mute you, Nate, while I speak with Mike, because your mic is a bit echoey. So I just muted you. You're fine. Mike, so tell us about this training. So it starts as martial arts, but then it evolves, or is it something separate? What is the training about? Like if I just show up, I say I want to see with the blindfolds on. What do I have to go to do to go through the training?
Well, that's an excellent question, Caroline. Thank you for asking that, because I really want to be clear for everybody out there that what we are offering here is just the discipline of Vibra Vision from the full martial arts. The full martial art actually was passed down for almost 500 years, well, 450 years within the royal family and never let seen outside. But in the early 1960s, they released it to the Indonesian public, but it still took another 40 something years before they allowed us to be the first outsiders. But in that martial art, there's actually five main the camera's over here. 5 main disciplines. The first one is the movement, which is, martial arts movement, and then of course self-defense. But that's where we really cross the line and we start going into the energy aspects. So learning how to develop this energy inside of our bodies incorporated right into the martial art, and we start learning how to protect ourselves and project this energy to protect our body and break things. And then we start getting into the vibration ability, which we can heal ourselves and heal other people, and the special application of it for Vibra Vision. Now, here we do teach the martial art, but what we're offering now is just, hey, this is for humanity. Not everybody wants to go and do martial arts. Not everybody wants the other aspects. They just want to get in touch with their mind, body, and spirit connection. They want to have a deeper understanding of who they are and their connection to everything around them and open up their superpowers. So you can do just Vibra Vision without having to do the martial arts. And that's a clear answer for your question. We offer, it's like better than Baskin Robbins. We have more than 31 flavors, but you only have to eat one at a time. You don't have to get it all at one time.
That's awesome. Yeah, because then it's confusing if people have to do the martial arts technique before. So that's good to know. So how long of a training is it? So for me, or what's the expectation? So I've never done, let's pretend, I've never done this before. I show up and I like the idea that it's not just about being able to see or run through obstacles, but it's about raising your whole vibration and doing all kinds of things that benefit you in the long run. But just in terms of being able to perceive, how long of a training, what kind of stuff do you do? I mean, without going into all the details, but just to have an idea if I'm a new student.
Well, once again, excellent question. I'll try to make this as
all my questions are excellent, Mike.
You were like, you get a capital A for good questions. So, Caroline, it's kind of different for the different people because everybody has different talents, strengths, and abilities. And we can see that in everyday life for everything that we ever do. Some people, they practice very hard at something for years to master it. And other people just are prodigies. They pick it up and all of a sudden you see a 4-year-old doing things that are incredibly difficult. And you're like, how does that happen? They were just naturally inclined to it. So it really depends on each individual person. However, we, really have tried to do a step-by-step, break it down, give people the ability to unlock themselves in the way that's best for them. So in a nutshell, blind people and sighted people are a little different because sighted people actually, are sometimes able to get it faster. But at the same time, if you have a clean slate, you have nothing holding you back and you can just take off from there. So in Indonesia, the original program would run in 6-month blocks and they had different skill levels that were attainable at the end of that. For us, we are structured in a step-by-step way, but once the ball starts rolling, momentum it increases. So I guess I should say, the better it gets, the better it gets. And we start riding this upward performance spiral. In our basic level 1 immersion programs, we have over 90% success ratio with people being able to find a certain target, whether that be something placed on the floor or, navigating through the different poles and the different things. We've created all kinds of toys and tools to make this a fun experience. It's not the traditional method of go and meditate forever until you find this thing. It's like, hey, we're not talking about a whole city block. We're going to put you in the corner of one room and say it's right here. So different people are able to attain it differently, but obviously the idea here is, let's say it was basketball. We're going to put you on the court. We're going to show you how to dribble. We're going to show you how to shoot. Some people are able to start dunking like Michael Jordan within 3 months. They're there. And generally children get it faster because they have less blocks and they're already in the brainwave states that we as adults have to meditate to drop into. Kids are like fully programmable for the most part. They just like pick it up and run. So as an adult, I would say your very first day, you're going to have amazing experiences, and it just keeps that upward spiral going up. But each person is different, so I can't make any guarantees. What I will say is that, like, for example, Dave surprised me because his son actually was one of our senior martial arts youth members. He was in the program. Dave was just or I should say not just, Dave was one of our senior health and fitness members. So he had a lot of the base meditations and breath work and different stuff to polarize those blood cells and make the electricity and then harness it. But he was just sitting on the sideline. And one day he walks up to me and says, "Moss Mike, hey, I can do this." What? Yeah. All right, let's go. And to watch him and his son do it together and just climb the ladder and the acceleration, creating an atmosphere of fun and adventure is it's like going to Disneyland with superpowers. It's
yeah.
So no matter what, you enjoy the journey. That's the biggest key, that we're enjoying ourselves along the way.
Well, you have to, like we talked about vibration, because I think as soon as you put something so serious behind it, you get so nervous, and it's like that stops you, your mind stops you from achieving. And, of course, we know that is fundamental if you're learning something new, that you have to be in this state of joy. But I'd like to play a little clip from the movie that is all your stuff, you guys, just for people who have not seen the movie yet, to see what you guys are capable of. And then I am just so excited because we have a live demonstration. So just hang tight. I'm going to show my screen and play the clip. USA in Ogden, Utah, a blindfold technique called Vibra Vision helps you sense the vibration of various objects in the physical world.
All physical matter in the universe is actually a form of energy that's made up of atoms. And those atoms are cycling or vibrating at a certain frequency. Practicing Vibra Vision gives us the ability to access our sensors and to perceive those vibrations, and then convert it into a usable mental image. We call it mindset. Red, yellow, blue, yellow, orange, blue, green. We can see the unseen, to do things that are thought was impossible.
8 of clubs, 10 of diamonds, 5 of hearts. 1, 2,
At NPUSA, folks of all ages demonstrate these incredible skills inside the academy and out in the real world.
How about the grilled chicken and sausage gumbo? Gumbo. How much does it cost again? $29.90. Correct. And hold on, what were you just touching?
These are kind of waffles.
All right, what color is that?
That's it.
Let's find the Lay's brand. Old Spice body wash. Very good.
I mean, it's just mind blowing. I love the kid where he's trying to feel it in front of him and he's like, no, wait, it's right behind me. That's incredible. So I would love you guys. We have an amazing surprise. I mean, it's not a surprise. We've talked about it. I wanted to make sure we could do it. But Dave, the gentleman who is in the movie that you see him do all this incredible stuff, is right here. And so I thought I want to do a live demonstration for the folks to see. This is not a film. It's not a trick. We didn't plan anything. And so if that's okay, Mike and Nate, I want to bring him on now and then have him like, okay, so this is not rehearsed and just have him do it live. Sounds good?
Awesome.
Okay, here we go. Hey, Dave, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How about yourself?
Yeah, I love that mohawk. Oh my God, it's crazy, incredible what you can do. So I thought we need to do this live because I'm tired of the people who say, oh, like he's seeing from the side or, oh, whatever, somebody's whispering. Okay, well, I mean, first of all, I don't know about you, but we don't have time to waste, on doing this kind of stuff. This is your career. This is my career. It's our reputation. This isn't a magic show. This is real stuff that not only can help you, but if we can take this and help the blind and the severely visually impaired, I mean, we're talking about something incredible. So I just want to show how this is possible. So I'm going to just take Dave so people can see him clearly. I'm going to get you out of the broadcast for a second, Mike and Nate. Whoops. Okay, Nate, I'm going to, here we go. So Dave,
yeah.
Let's walk through this. Okay, let's walk through this for the people who don't know. I have the mask. I've tried it 100 times. It's completely blind. So some technique use the mask, but the eyes are open. But I know that you guys actually cover your eyes first. So can you walk us through exactly how you cover your eyes, then you put the blindfolds, and then so people can see for themselves? Go ahead.
Okay, here's the mask. So we got these optic boundaries.
Show the mask clearly so people don't think there's like holes or something.
Yeah, there's no holes in it. Just a normal little blindfold.
Yeah.
And then we cover our eyes with these optic bandits. That way, and then you close your eyes before you put these on. That way there's like 3 layers you can't see anyway. So
exactly, because there are other techniques where they keep the eyes open, but you close your eyes, cover with the Band-Aid, and put the mask.
Yes.
Okay, so are you ready to do a demonstration?
I'm ready.
For it? All right, so let's do it. So do it. Go step by step. Go ahead and close your. I'm gonna
wipe my eyes off so in case I have sweat, they'll stick.
Yeah. Perfect. And thanks so much for doing this, by the way. Like, your stuff is just crazy, mind-blowing. But I think the world needs to see this. The world needs to see this. All right, so you're doing first the tapes. Can you show it to the camera? Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Turn it. Yeah.
Nothing, no holes and nothing through it.
Yeah, and these people can buy these at the drugstore. These are surgical, eye patches, and once you have it on, you really don't see.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I'm going to hop in the background here. I just wanted to make a quick comment on that. Sorry, Nate is grabbing the other camera so we can follow Dave when we go on the adventure. But something that I just wanted to mention about this, because you know about the Mindfold, and that's what they use to train people that are going blind to simulate being completely blind, and their entire packaging is complete darkness with your eyes closed. We actually were at an event with a blindfolded magician from the Magic Castle in LA. We tried on our blindfold in the airport, and it was just like, oh my gosh, I can't figure this out, because he's a blindfold magician. But he is. So then we, of course, wanted to make sure that this would absolutely prove to the medical and scientific professionals that we are not cheating and it's not a magic trick. So we double blind and we do the Band-Aids as well. And so great job, Dave. Way to go.
Yeah, awesome. Let's have fun with this. So Dave, I want you to bring the mask a little bit down, if that's okay. Yeah, are you comfortable?
Yeah.
That way it's okay. So I'm just going to show you a bunch of like things, and then you just tell me what I'm holding up in my hand.
Okay.
And so hold on, let me get something ready. So what am I holding up in my hand right now? What is this?
That is a red piece of paper.
Okay. What about this?
That is blue.
Okay. What about this?
Yellow.
What about this?
That's green.
Okay. So what is this?
That is a pin.
Okay. What is this?
That is a glass of water.
Okay. Can you look straight to the camera? So turn your head to the turn your head to your right. Yeah, perfect. Because people like.
Yeah.
All right. So, and you guys, I just suggest that you go and try. Just put that mask on for just 1 minute and see for yourself. Okay. And then you'll realize how crazy difficult this is. What is this?
That is the 6 of hearts.
Okay. What about this?
8 of clubs. No, spades. Sorry.
Okay.
9 diamonds.
All right. And you guys, you can see what I'm doing. So it's like, okay, what about this?
You're holding it backwards, huh? And it is I want to say a king of hearts.
Let's try again.
Nope. It's the 6 of spades.
Okay. I was holding it backwards. What about this? What is this?
That is a purple phone.
All right. Incredible. So far, like, it's amazing. One more thing. How about this?
A blue cup.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to project something, so it's not something I'm holding up, but something on the screen. So I'm just going to go ahead and project something on the screen and let me know what you see. Hold on. Let me just share screen first. Okay, hold on. It's a mess right now. Give me a second. Let me see. Where is this thing? All right. So what is this thing on your screen?
It is a yellow circle.
What about this?
A green octagon.
This?
blue star,
Mm-hmm.
a red square,
Okay.
blue triangle,
Yep. Okay. What about this? What is this on your screen right now?
a letter L,
Okay. Oops, sorry.
W, a G, 78,
Hmm?
106,
Incredible.
FRT,
Yeah. Okay. Can you read what's on the screen right now?
Cory finds a way. Let's
See
see.
if I can make it even bigger. Hold on. Go ahead.
The incredible. Ew, that's kind of blurry. Hang on just a sec.
That's okay. Take your time.
Is there any way to make that even bigger,
Yeah,
Caroline?
it's also probably because you're seeing it on a tiny screen. How about this?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, because it's on a tiny screen, so it's like I understand. Go ahead.
The invisible made visible in regular
That's a weird word.
in unique
Intrigue.
intrigue. Okay.
Yeah. It's okay. You're doing amazing. I mean,
Reading is like I still got to work on it a little bit more, but
okay. All right. Very cool. Very cool. I think it's pretty awesome. So, how was it for you? Let me see. I think we've tried all kinds of tricks and stuff and props. Do you want to demonstrate something else?
we can either do obstacle course or we can go shooting, whatever you would like.
Let's do some obstacle course.
Okay.
So you can see the obstacles behind you. Can you just go and do them yourself, or how is that going to work?
Yeah, I can. I'll get Moss Nate to follow with the camera.
Okay, that's good. Mike or Nate, can you just point the camera? And by the way, you guys, who's going to be on the camera? Nate or Mike?
I will. Nate will be. I am.
Okay. And by the way, you guys, as you saw, I was just picking up random stuff. So he had no idea what was coming, whether it's an object or a color, or I didn't say what color do I have in my hand. I said, what is this? And he said a piece of paper. And so just remember that. So let's try. Go ahead, Nate. If you can just, point the camera straight. Okay. Whenever you're ready, I think we can see.
Could we please mute out the one that Dave was on, and we'll unmute the one that says Mike Zalesnik, because that's actually the phone.
Okay. Go ahead. Perfect. Well, we can't hear you because I muted you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can you explain that, bro? The quality is not that good because it's a selfie camera.
It's good. Yeah, I can see it. It was fine, Mike. It was fine. The way you were. Go ahead.
All
Nate.
kinds of
It was
tech.
fine. It
All
was
right, Dave. Come on through to me. Yeah. And then I'm going to have you grab a lightsaber on your way through. Go ahead and turn that on. And then Caroline, what color balloon would you like him to go and hit?
I don't know if it's in front of him or behind him at this point because we're
We
looking.
have yellow, red, green, or orange.
Yeah, I like the color orange. Let's do orange.
Let's do orange.
I don't see the orange.
Yeah.
Oh. Cool. What
What's the
about
next
the
one?
green?
What
What
is
about green?
Green? Green. What else? What other
Okay.
color?
What about can you walk through straight ahead through the next obstacle on the other? Okay, basically. Okay, never mind. You can get us the red balloon.
Red balloon.
And the last one.
And,
Let's get the yellow and then get the blue.
oh, there is a blue one.
Very cool. All right. Shall we do some target shooting? That's crazy.
I think.
And the precision. How can we do some target shooting?
So, Mike, Caroline, what was that?
Can we do some target shooting or
Yeah, let's do some shooting.
just like one last thing? I mean, I don't know what's gonna convince people more than this. This is insane. You guys saw that his eyes were closed. They were covered with that tape, and he had the mask on.
Okay. Now, since I cannot see the screen, I want to make sure that we get into a place where I can see Dave. You can see Dave. We can also see the colors.
Yeah, so we can see everything. What is he shooting actually?
It's a Nerf gun. Safety
Okay.
burst.
No, I mean like where is the target? Like what
Oh,
is he?
these are floor mats, just like you would buy to put
Okay, very
in your.
good. Okay, great. So go ahead whenever you're ready. We can see you.
Yeah, what color would you like?
Oh, green.
It's kind of
I
hard
don't
to
know.
see. I'm gonna
It's
get
hard
that.
to see. You have to get closer. Why don't you get closer? No, Dave, you're fine, but we need Nate to get closer.
Yeah.
What's that?
No, you're fine.
No, you're good. You're fine. Nate, go closer. Go closer. Okay, very good.
Okay.
So, Dave, can you try to get the red one, please? Oops, Mike, get out of the way.
We have too many people talking at one time.
Okay, go ahead, Dave. Let's do the red one. Red. Okay. Blue. Orange. Okay, great. That's incredible. You did it. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to mute everybody because it's making some. So if I would love to have Dave come back to the camera where he was, and I'd love to have Mike and Nate comment on what just happened, because this is crazy insane. So while you come back to your original position, I'm going to see if there are any questions in the meantime from the audience, whoever is listening. So if anybody has any question, this is the time. As soon as we have. Thank you guys. Thanks for all the comments. I love you too. This is real stuff. This is very possible, and the implications are crazy. Let me get back Dave real quick here. Okay, Dave. First of all, I want to know what goes through your mind. Like, do you have to breathe, focus, concentrate to get your mask is a bit kind of not
No,
straight?
no, actually, you got to let your mind wander and kind of let your imagination take over.
Your
Because
mask is a bit off. Can you fix it more? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So, but I mean, like, what goes through your mind as you're doing this? Are you just like relaxing and going through the motion, or do you have to
yeah,
concentrate?
you not really necessarily concentrate. It's more of a relax, get into the state and feel for the vibration.
Okay. So
It can
that
show
was
you.
my next question. How are you picking up the information? So when you see the balloon or when I was holding up something,
It
how do
depends.
you receive? How do you receive? How does it feel in your body? How does it feel to receive that information?
It's kind of weird because with colors, it's a different heat temperature sensitive for each color. Like a brighter color is like a hotter feeling, and then like the darker colors are blue, like are cold basically. And then like shapes and stuff, I can see like the outline. I don't really see it all filled in, but I see like the outlines.
But how do you know what this is? If you
Just
only see
as
the
I
out,
can see,
what is
just
this?
as I can see the outline of it. That is a cup.
Yeah, but what? Oh, okay. So I mean, like, so
Yeah.
okay. What about this then?
That is yellow piece of paper.
Ah, try again.
Oh no, that's a candle, isn't it?
Ah, okay. So I see how you see the shape. Right. That
Mhm.
makes sense. But what about like this kind of stuff? I mean, like how is like this is not a what are you seeing here? What are you sensing here? Do you sense the shape of
I can see the hearts, the shapes of the hearts, and then
okay.
like on cards, all I got to do is like count how many of them there is, and that's
Okay.
what it is.
I see. So it's not like you're reading the 10, you are just counting, but you see the
Yeah,
shape.
yeah.
So basically, you see the shape and the color, and what about the depth, like the dimension, obviously? So isn't that what we all need for vision? Like if you're blind, not
Yeah.
necessarily, but you know what I mean? You need color, you
Well,
need dimension.
yeah. And it's like going through the obstacle course with the poles and stuff, because the poles will put off a vibration, and if you feel the vibration, it'll go stronger and stronger as you get closer to it. But the further away or around it, it don't have the strong vibration.
Okay, so this is the reason why I wanted to do this online. Because if you're even picking up the vibration, and I'm not even close to you,
Mm-hmm.
and plus you're looking at the electromagnetic of the computer or whatever. So if I were in front of you, you could pick up the vibration of this, but now this is going through all the other magnetic fields. So
Yeah.
how do you go about that?
It still puts it off. It doesn't. It's kind of a different vibration, but I mean it's still there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's to me that's why I wanted to do it online for people to realize that once you get the idea of how you're picking up vibration, first of all, there's no time and space, and there's a way to bypass, a TV monitor or an electronic device to still retrieve that information. That's why I think this is so important, and not many people teach online or do anything online because of that problem. So I can imagine that you first have to master this technique to really know how you're picking up through vibration, and then you can bypass even a computer and still retrieve the vibration. It blows my mind. Do you want to say anything, Dave, or do you have something? Do you want to take out the mask now?
Yeah, I can take it off.
So people can see that your eyes are still covered. Yeah. And
And they're closed. You want me to take the band-aids off too to show you?
sure, I think we're good, right?
Okay. And these ain't that fun because they take some
Ow,
of your hair
sorry.
off.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
So, how long did it take you, Dave, to get to this level?
I've been with these guys. Let's see, we started Wealth of Health, 7 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And when they started bringing the program in 3 years ago, like he said, my son was doing it and I was just on the sidelines because I was basically his ride. And I told him, well, here, I can do that because I've kind of played with that kind of stuff before with my eyes closed, going through dark alleys and everything else. So, I mean, I basically, these guys taught me everything else. So,
A question. Are there other things that people learn to sense with this training? This is probably a question from Mike. Or other senses become, do other senses also become heightened? Mike, well, hold on. Let me unmute you. Sorry, one sec. Go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes, in every way. In actuality, what we're tapping into here is actually our first sense. We refer to it, and everybody refers to it as your sixth sense. But actually, when we're born, our eyeballs don't really work very well. Our ears don't work very well. We're not very temperature or touch sensitive. Our other five senses, they are physically based on muscles and nerves that need time to develop and exercise. As we grow, they get sharper. But when we first come into the world, we already have this connection with everything around us. They call it instinct. And so actually developing this is really interesting because, like, for example, Dave, he began with the, feeling the temperature differences. But then how do you read through temperature difference? That doesn't make any sense. Because what actually happens, I mean, these incredible supercomputers that we've got in between our ears are translating all of these different signals, and the signal really is atomic vibration. I think it was Nikola Tesla that said, if you want the secrets to the world, think of energy, vibration, and frequency, because everything is a form of slowed down light or energy. And so in any case, the point is, some people, they smell colors. Some people, I mean, in the very beginning, they smell the colors or they'll feel it at a different place in their body. Some people will taste something different. It's fascinating how our mind starts putting together these pieces, because some people are great at visual art. They can draw awesome, but other people play music well. Other people can taste or smell, create perfumes or amazing meals. Our sixth sense, or first sense, really, if you will, tries to overlay one of our other senses to try to make sense of the information that's coming in. And then we start cross training, and it's really a form of synesthesia, which is the crossing of senses into our sixth sense, which then we train it to translate into the picture that we call mind sight, that we want to be able to see the depth, the texture, the density, the different things. But in Indonesia, as Mas Nate was mentioning, they actually use this as part of the search and rescue, because it's the ring of fire. They have every type of natural disaster there. And so instead of using dogs to try to sniff through the dirt, they literally have X-ray vision. They can see right through it and detect, oh, there's 3 people in this house, but none of them are alive. Keep moving on. This house has got 3 people that are alive. They dig right here and literally use it as search and rescue. There's a lot of different applications for this in different fields, but that's probably the most pronounced in a life-saving manner that they've been using now for decades over there. The other parts of it, obviously just our greater sense of intuition, being able to foresee the right move at the right time in the right way is something that we all feel, and we've based it on a gut feeling or a hunch, or I feel it in my bones type of a thing. This is just taking that to a whole different level, and being able to translate it into usable information, so we have it more on demand and on cue at a deeper level.
Yeah, so I don't know if I shared with you, but when I was a kid, I used to, I mean, I still do, but in a different way. Now it's a whole method. But I could see, for example, on the other side of the wall, or remotely, what's happening, or past, present, future, and or sense that something is going to happen or the next day, and then you tell me this just happened. So I was spontaneously and like naturally doing that my whole life. But I think what happens is when you train with something like this, I think because most people are not so open to doing these things spontaneously, this is a great tool, because I think you are then forcing the brain to stop using that one sense. And so the brain has to find other ways. And and so I feel like all the senses come together, and it figures out another way to read the physical world. And because of that, that's why you also enhance those intuitive abilities, and then you can see beyond, you know, the wall or through a building and things like that. But what do you say? Yeah, so that's why I feel this is a great training and a great tool for people who want to enhance and explore all their intuitive abilities. But what about the blind? Let's go back to, because that's what, to me, I mean, this is an incredible tool and training. But when you talk about somebody who's, you know, born blind or who becomes blind after an accident, you know, so can you tell us a little bit about how you work with those folks? Because I mean, that is incredibly hopeful, you know, for those people. And how is that different than what Dave can see with his eyes? So he did it to train himself, which is incredible. But somebody who doesn't have that in the beginning, how does it work? Is it different? Tell us a little bit about that, working with the blind.
Awesome. Thank you. Very, very different, depending on if they had sight before they, you know, or if they had sight at one point in their life, because the visual cortex is, you know, starting to record and exercise itself since day one. So I've had the privilege and opportunity to work with several blind folks that were blind later in life, as well as several that have been, you know, at a very, very young age. And as I mentioned before, if their slate is completely clear, meaning that they were blind from birth, it actually comes a lot faster because they've been paying attention to this but not recognizing it their whole life. And once again, the process of generating a bigger field and more electricity through our body, and then hooking up the wires and the bio hardware, if you will, the receivers and the translators and projectors that are happening through our neural system, are a little different with blind people per se. But you know, like one gentleman, he's been blind for 2 years. His name is Mike Armstrong, and he is absolutely my freaking hero. He's amazing. He has prosthetic eyes, and he can, you know, here, hold these for me, and then go through the course and hit the poles and do incredible stuff. But you know, for normal orientation and mobility training at a you know, any type of deaf blind school kind of a thing, they do like 6 to 8 hours a day, every day, 5 days a week for, you know, 6 months, a year and a half, 2 years. And even after that, like, I think that it was like 40% of them still are not able to navigate accurately with a cane, is what I'd heard. The truth is, it requires more intensive training because they are living it at all times. Whereas if you're somebody that is sighted, that, you know, have much more recent memories of things, and those memories are able to cross pathways into your creation, and so you have a different sense of it. In actuality, if you are fully blind, you need, I guess I should say, more consistent tutelage and training to get it. But at the same time, that's what this mission is for. The 11th generation heir, there was actually two heirs in the 11th generation of the royal family of Indonesia that released this to the public. And the one that released Vibravision, developed it for blind people and the blind training protocol in Indonesia. He actually also developed one for deaf people, and he could catch sound waves, you know, with double earplugs on. He could catch down sound waves and teach deaf people how to have vibra hearing. But unfortunately, when he passed away, that we're going to redevelop that in the future, because that's amazing, and we want to give everybody the opportunity to develop all of their senses. But I hope I answered that accurately. You know,
Yeah,
line training is different.
yeah. Let me bring back Nate also to the conversation, because I know this is your mission. But so let me ask you this now: do you, so a blind person, whether they became blind or they were blind from birth, do you use the mask at all? Because other places they do. So I want to know, like, do you even need this?
That's a really good question, Caroline. Well, how's that echo?
I think
Okay, I'm muted you. Go ahead, Nate.
Okay, is that better? Okay, fantastic. So it really depends, because one of our blind students, and when people say blind, that is a spectrum of vision difficulty. All right, so blindness does not mean necessarily complete pitch black. One of our students is blind, and she's totally blind, but she has, if she stares at the sun, it will be light. She will see some light, but she can make out no shapes, no colors, so she is blind. So with her, we make sure that we wear the Blindfold and block out all the lights so that it's completely dark. So another one of our students who he's had his eyes removed over 2 decades ago, there's no need for us to put a Blindfold on because he lacks the hardware now to possibly perceive light. So it really depends on the individual person and what they need to make it sure that they are seeing nothing. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I'm going to mute you again because there's, So the idea is then, if you see a little bit, you want to block out completely the light completely. So it's almost like you're starting from scratch, because you're forcing, again, I think that's my understanding, and that's how I felt it, that you're forcing the brain to find other ways to figure it out and read the information. And so if you're seeing a little bit, it's almost not helping. So that makes perfect sense. So you guys, by the way, for those who are still listening, and you're welcome to type in your questions. Before we forget, let's make sure, what is the website where people can find all this information? And yeah, go ahead, Nate.
All right. So the website is Vibra, Vibra Vision, VISION.com. And Caroline, I did put that over in the private chat.
Okay.
So copy and paste it over into the comments. I'm not able to do that from my end for some reason. And it has our YouTube channel. It has a lot of different resources for people to be able to go and find out more about this. And I want to let everyone who's interested know that our classes are kept small. We keep them so that it's an intimate event with very few people and enough instructors to make sure everybody gets very close personal attention so that they can go as fast as possible. And so the next one is November 6th through 10th, and it is by application only. All right. We only take good-hearted people. So we have background check. I mean, we make sure. We've had some kind of scary people apply for our workshop. And so we make sure that we vet everybody who comes in and make sure that they're going to be using this for the very best and highest good, because this is an honor for us to be able to share this from the royal family, and we take that very seriously. So our websites will tell you a lot more.
Yeah, so it's all in the chat, you guys, no matter where you are. This is showing up on Facebook, on YouTube, is showing up everywhere. So you can go and read more information. But also, this is so incredibly important for those folks. So they're not. So what is because some people say, well, wait, like blind people can just use the Braille and they can read that way. So why is this different? I mean, I understand because you're developing a whole vibrational methodology, but they say, but the Braille thing is already proven. Why, try something different? What do you have to say about that?
Sure, absolutely. I love that question. So if you ask someone, this is a personal thing. A lot of people who have been blind since birth, they're not interested in what we do. But many people who have lost their sight are. So just because Braille works, that doesn't mean that they would not like to perceive more and get back some more of the freedom or the mobility that they used to have in some sense, even if it's not physical eyesight. If there's another way, a human technology or a technology that can help them do that, they're usually very receptive to it. And we realize that Vibravision and what we do and our methodology may not be for everybody, and that's okay. Different strokes for different folks. But for the people that it is for all the people that are watching this, they would like to connect to themselves in a deeper, methodical way that has been measured by science and learn how to perceive things in a way you never dreamed possible. Our website's in the chat.
Yeah, exactly. And, and it's like, I want to say something that, people think like you're trying to sell something, because I get that too sometimes, like, and people don't realize that when we discover something that's working and helping so many people, we just want to share, because it's like, oh my God, but you're right. Not everybody wants to go through that training. Not everybody. So it is whatever your heart says. Mike, did you want to say something?
Vibravision.com. That was all.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so it's all written in the chat. So also, do you guys have a foundation? Like, are you raising money for some sort of project or something like that? I thought I saw. Go ahead, Nate.
Yes, we are. Since I'm the founding director of the Vibravision Foundation, it is a 501c3. Our mission is to redefine blindness as we see it, to help blind people be able to travel and afford the training here and all the costs that are associated with it, but also to help in our mission to have more scientific testing done. And Caroline, I'm not sure if you were going to mention about the 26th of September, but we're going to have somebody with us, very special, who he's one of the top neuroscientists on the planet. His name is Dr. Jeffrey Fannin. You can find him on Amazon. His new books just came out. And he has mapped the brains of our people while they do Vibravision. And he is absolutely floored. He has never seen anything like it before in over 25 years. So this is a brain scientist that I don't understand. I don't speak his language. But him seeing it, saying, yeah, this is real. And that's anecdotal. But when you have the empirical evidence through measurements, it gives us a lot of hope that someday we will really understand the how that this is done.
Yeah. And I love that. As you know, my whole film is about bringing the science behind it, because we know it works. We definitely know. We've seen it over and over and over. People who are doing it, us teaching it. We know this is real. And so many people around the world have all kinds of experiences. We know this is real. But now if we can bring some science behind it, so much the better, definitely. So, okay, and I guess they can find information about that foundation also on your website. So you guys make sure you check this out. If this is who you are, this is you're in that position. This is basically the mission for those guys. And I think it's incredible. And Dave, I mean, this is crazy. I mean, it's just crazy what you just did and demonstrated. And you all saw that, with all the layering that he had, it was totally random. I was picking up stuff. In fact, I was I was shuffling the cards, so you had no idea. Is there something else you would like to say for those from somebody who learned it, trained in it, and is doing it? Is there something you'd like to say?
Yeah. Anybody's willing to come out and come try it, because it's a blast. You'll like it. It's a lot of fun. These guys are great to work with. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've got my son who's gone to boot camp, but he'll be back. And
yeah, and I mean, if anything, like we've been saying, use it as just a training tool, like just to expand your consciousness and your abilities. So let me see if we have any questions here. Practice along. Okay, let's see. Let me see. Blind people in the program have seen incredible changes. I guess this is somebody who knows this group is so inspiring. Their victories in seeing made me cry every time they discover new sight abilities. So this is just a comment. I don't see a question. So, all right. I think, let me see. Go ahead, Mike. Did you want to say something?
Well, I just wanted to pipe in there a little bit about the future and what's coming next. You know, obviously, we were talking about the next immersion event, but in the big picture, I first of all want to say, Caroline, thank you so much for being like in a resonant laser beam. You are shining so far, so fast in so many different directions, and I'm really honored to be part of it. And Vibravision as a whole. I mean, you know, they say birds of a feather flock together, and really, truly, resonance is a real thing in everyday life. And we're all kind of playing in the same sandbox, working toward the same goal. And for Vibravision, especially, you know, it's still right now in the infancy stage, and we are keeping things small. But as we start to be able to gain the necessary pieces to support the bigger roll of the snowball, piece by piece by piece, can you imagine what it will be like in 3 years, 5 years from now, when there are so many Vibravision athletes and people that are tapped and tuned in and turned on to their connection with the universe, that not only are we seeing through the veil of our modern chaotic daily life that keeps us so detached from who we really are on the inside, but also superhuman abilities, real life Jedi powers walking around everywhere every day. I really envision, you know, kind of like the military over there that has already been using it for years. And they used to do this in Indonesia, you know, in years past, full blown Jedi competitions. Because
Yes.
nothing brings about evolution of ability like competition. As soon as it's a game, people go through the roof. And so really looking forward to having that happen in the future. Nationally televised circuit of athletes that are running around, not only working amazing good and bringing light to the world, but elevating the consciousness of the individuals that are doing it and attracting more and more, and keeping that momentum going into the new era. Because the technology that we have now has made the world a whole lot smaller. But at the same time, we have these incredible communication devices, and yet so much less communication. People will sit next to each other and text argue. It's
Yeah,
incredible.
I know.
As we bridge the gap, and
Yeah.
Vibravision is definitely going to be a huge part of that, we are really looking forward to creating. I mean, I really see, you know, how fast kids are getting new things that it takes us as adults. You know, we get introduced at the same time, but the kids get it faster. It's not going to be long before they are just like levitating stuff as just everyday normal. Everybody does it. No worries. Vibravision, all of these supernatural abilities, and many of the things that you were showcasing in Superhuman, just like absolutely touched me very deeply, because that's what we're all about. We have this technology inside of us from day one, and unlocking and opening ourselves to the world. Together, we are going to make the world a better place. We are all on the same team for loving ourselves deeper, and therefore being able to create a different wave in our sphere of influence and loving more openly in the world, because there's enough hate and anger and division and destruction. There's enough war. There's enough of the things that are pulling us apart. It's time for us to use these amazing communication devices, our technology, and our human technology to really bridge the gap and bring everything back together. So
I love
wanted to say
that.
thank you.
Wow. Couldn't have said it better. Amazing. Thank you so much for saying this, because this is the bigger picture. And that is the reason why I made this film. And I feel like enough already. Like, I mean, we have these abilities. We need to stop worrying about what other people say, what other people think, and just start doing it. Like, just have fun with it, you know, whether, you know, if it's Vibravision, using the mask, or playing, you know, changing the water, the pH in the water, like I have in the film, trying telekinesis. that's how you discover these abilities, and you start to realize, like, wait, I just did that. Oh my God. Well, let me try it again. And if the kids do that, I mean, that is the next generation. So it's very, very hopeful. And I'm tired of speaking about all the depressing stuff. It's like, okay, what else are we going to do about things we can't control? Let's worry about and take things in charge, things that we can control, which is our mind, our consciousness.
Absolutely. And not just for the kids, because we're all still just big kids.
That's true.
They say that by the time we're 35, we have 95% of every minute of every day. We already know what it's going to be. That means we're only living in 5% of mystery and adventure and excitement and life. The rest of it is just a pre-rehearsed routine. And so exploring, expanding ourselves. Hey, I'll be the first one to tell you, if I could actually still get away with trick-or-treating still, I would.
That's funny. That's awesome. Thank you so much. And by the way, you guys, I just put in the chat for those who still have not watched the film. You need to be doing this like right now. I mean, this is the film that needs to be seen by everyone and over, because again, it's all about vibration. It's all about energy. And what I'm hoping to do is, this is not to convince or force or whatever. This is just to present what's possible and for you to resonate with it and just feel empowered. So that's the reason why everybody needs to watch this film. And if you've watched it, tell your friends, write a review, share the positive information. And today was an incredible display of that potential. I mean, come on. You guys, you saw it with your own eyes online. This is nothing fake. We didn't cut camera. We didn't edit anything in the studio. This is all real. So Dave, Nate, and Mike, I'm so grateful for you. And I'm sure our paths will cross again for sure. So thanks so much for coming on, and we'll be in touch for sure.
Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you, Caroline. And everybody who watched, thank you so much.
Awesome. All right, let's see. Okay, you guys. So you saw it, you heard it. This is the real deal. This is incredible. And this is a tool to get you to that level of awareness. So please, if we didn't get to your question, so go ahead and type them in the chat, because we will go back. This video will stay on our channels, on all the channels, and we will be able to go back and see the comments and questions and answer you. And again, it's vibravision.com for those guys. And for me, it's superhumanfilm.com. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe. It's free. It's free of charge. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on the pages, because we're going to continue to bring those types of programs, empowering programs to you. So I hope you enjoyed this today. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. Thank you so much for being with me. And let's feel empowered and have an awesome day. Thanks so much.